Hey, what's up, guys? Another wonderful Cosmonarchy cast is now awaiting your eyes and ears. We are watching a free-for-all on Oilstralia, but it's with some interesting characters. And, free-for-alls are good fun. I love to cast them, so that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm just panning over all of our players here on Oilstralia. No island spawns this time around. In the top left, we have 3Crow. He appears to be a jet black Terran player. In the top right, we have Tudor, who is our Japanese Violet Zerg. And in the 3 o'clock position, we have Kasuga, our Black Protoss. That's not going to get confusing with 3Crow or anything, but at least they're different races. Hanmono is a South Korean Starcraft 2 pro who's going to be sticking around after his show match and playing some games with us. This is him practicing for that show match. He is in the bottom right, and he is our, I'm going to say, Saffron, but it's Lemon. I was thinking Lemon was the fallback. He's a Terran player, of course. So Flame Viper over here, bottom left, is our Orange Zerg. In the 9 o'clock position, we have Nemesis Jimmy. I don't know who this is. So that's one of those anonymous names. But it's a Zerg player, so maybe it'll be Grass Eater. Anyway, they are the Coyote Brown Earthtone's Zerg. That's an interesting color. And in the middle, we've got Krankendow. He is our tea green Terran. I wasn't sure what color that was, but I didn't know what else to guess. Double Fulcrum here for him in the middle of the map. We'll keep tabs on what our players are doing here. 3Crow going for a fast lodestone with some bio. Looks like he wants to just go to garrison it in case he's going to be harassed by something later. Tudor has been hanging out here, and he seems to be going pool into Larvosk, or I guess it was Larvosk into pool. We see Kasuga scouting with a Zealot, so that'll be a first contact between those two players, and maybe of the whole series, of the whole map. Vulture and Expansion already coming out here for Hanmono. A bold choice in a weird FFA map like this that's meant to model Australia. I selected random and got Zerg, by the way. I think Krankendow also picked random. But while Tudor was busy typing, Zerg here, Zealot here. The drill is really good, though. That actually stopped it from getting too much more damage. We have the Zorkis first into a Larvosk here for Flame Viper, by the way. Very interesting. And we got some of those mines coming down here for Krankendow. Jimmy's going to go ahead and scout. It looks like... By the way, that's not the real Jimmy. Real Jimmy couldn't make it to the lobby in time. Rest in peace. Ooh, Flame Viper's going to get bopped by that circuit. Double circuit there from Nemesis Jimmy. Yeah, I actually don't know who this is. It doesn't even seem like somebody who would type... it's not even somebody who types like Grass Eater, so... Of course, if Grass Eater hears this and it was him, he's going to be like, yes, I confused Protoghost successfully, and then I just ban him, All right, a little bit of harassment and heckling from Kasuga as the Zealots come in to disrupt the harvesting and the, you could say, the construction efforts as well. One Cyclops is out. Hanmono doesn't seem to know that they deal friendly splash damage just yet. But, it's all a learning experience, and now Kasuga will descend upon those Masons in the middle. He'll get one more pick. I feel like that's, 3 workers killed with the 2 Zealots? That's pretty good efficiency. You're pretty happy with that as the Protoss player. Kasuga also, though, did get a little bit of heckling done to Tudor. So now he's kind of made 2 enemies, yeah? Speaking of, Tudor's going to be moving out with a small army. We have the Panoptus on the way here for Kasuga. Don't worry, though. Hanmono is making Goliaths and a star pad for some detection. Does like his Ant Seals already, though he doesn't usually use them as a shield. And it will be a Savant-heavy move from 3Crow as this attack is coming in from Tudor onto Kasuga. A Crucible is warped in. There's enough Zealots here that he should be okay with a little bit of micro. Oh, 1 HP. Tudor going to go for the kill, but not quite going to be able to make it happen. He's got a couple of reinforcements coming in, and I love that little body block afterwards as well. Now, this should result in a couple of wounded Zealots being picked apart. Maybe that third one as well will end up going down. But a good pullback there from Kasuga as we have only pool units coming for Tudor. He has nothing else. But this Nexus is now under attack by Hanmono, so Kasuga, this is what happens when you attack multiple players and heckle them a little bit. Now the Panoptus is having to deal with this little micro move, and the Nexus is going to be finished, so it won't be cancelable anymore. Zealots pop out to try to riposte this Zerg attack, and it's an FFA, right? So, of course, they take some Terran fire on the way down. But that Nexus going down is a big, big hit. And now Hanmono will fall away. The Quads seem to be massing up. I think Tudor can continue a little bit of pressure here. But with that Crucible done, it does look like the Zealots are going to be going places. The Envoy moving to the upper right. Kasuga's played on this map before. He knows what's up. Mines will be stunned. Now the Crucible going to be taking some fire here. It's a good, juicy target, but you should probably go after the military. And look at that. He even targets the full HP Panoptus instead of the wounded one. Feels like he would have actually done the trick there. Another Flame Viper drone getting massacred on a scouting mission. Looks like he's thinking about expanding twice, but doesn't have the money just yet. We'll check in with the other homies after some action falls down over here. And Tier 2 very quickly here for Tudor off of just the one base. Not a crazy amount of money in his coffers. And it looks like his Quaz attack is held at an arm's length as the vultures for Hanmano start leaving the building. We've got lots of Matadors, Goliaths, and Blackjacks moving out, moving around, navigating. I think, overall, I like the... Ooh, pop. Overall, I like the way that the Matador looks now. I would probably make some tweaks to the turret. I've been thinking about that because it does look a bit cartoonish for some reason. It reads to me that way, which is not... I don't think it was an intended design decision, so I don't really know what about it is tripping me up in that way, but we'll see how it plays out here. Savants are going to be incinerated almost immediately as Krankendow starts to move in with his mech. It's a scrappy sort of play here, right? It's just the Matadors and the Blackjacks with a single Goliath for helping anti-air. But now the Savants are life-stealing, not focusing down. It is Krankendow. He's busy with other things. Now he's going to try to break it. Oh, but the repairs are too damn good. Wow. That's the little late-game push there at the end. 4 Panoptises for Kasuga are going to come in and try to heckle things over here. They will scout the Iral Iris, and they'll start to break down the Spraith. Remember, some damage was dealt to some of these units earlier, but it's not the runs are being focused down. An Agrolith was made. We saw Jimmy talk about that. Not Jimmy talk about that, I guess. Now the Quads are going to come out and try to hold these Panoptises at bay. I was thinking about adding Rillarokor Burrow, but I feel like it kind of goes against the idea of them being a free unit, you know? They're a free unit. They're not meant to be ambushed. Well, is this Iral Iris going to be taken out? That's the question that we're all asking now, as Hanmano is trying to develop his economy. He's got both add-ons, 5 Fulcrums, or South Korean Pro taking a 3rd base. Vultures camping out at what might be his 4th. Panoptises have been pulled away for the time being. And we've got a base that Flame Viper just set up, now being heckled. He's got Ultra Cores already, as well as a Khazitra. He's got a pretty potent army there, but he shouldn't just, oh no, now he's going to get attacked by multiple fronts there. That's unfortunate. Looks to me like Jimmy wants to take this base himself, but Krankendow's none the wiser. Well, might be pulling back here in a moment as his Blackjack and Anseal get shorn off. Oh, look at that. They all fall off the Kagra and die. How sad. Attempted Spraith creation is going to be disrupted by these Panoptises. Krankendow's still on 1 base right now, but he is making a Ministry, and he is also adding a Palladium add-on with his 4th Fulcrum. I bounty Kasuga head, $20. Oh, well, if you say that, I'll just UK his Nexus right now. No, that doesn't get synced. You can't use the debug console to do that. Oh, no. Hanmano is now heckling the poor Zerg. And these are ground units that can't shoot up, so there's no chance they could help him with the Panoptis problem. By the way, in the top right, Kasuga is still harvesting and has set up a Nexus there, slowly adding a mining colony. We see that Nemesis Jimmy has tier 2 as well, but not Jimmy is going to be growing quite nicely. Has the Ultra Cores as well. And the Panoptises are back. Just when the Quaz leave, it doesn't look like Tudor has what he needs right now, right? He's got some units stationed up here. If Kasuga was really committed, he could kill all of that with the Panoptises. Tudor struggling to stay alive here. Another Stargate being added for our Protoss. Nice little entrenched position with mines and a Cestus coming up here for Hanmano. And, well, speaking of entrenched positions, good grief. Remember, he lost a lot of his units, but he's going for that 1 base Atlas. This is something we do see in FFAs. The 3 Crow having to recover from Krankendow's early assault. Krankendow kind of lucked out. I mean, if you think about ranking these players, it would be Krankendow first, Hanmano second, and maybe, I don't know who Jimmy is, but maybe they'd be 3rd. Maybe they'd even be 2nd, depending on their familiarity, whoever they are. And you know, I think Kasuga would be our 3rd player, and then the not Jimmy can be 4th, based on just kind of an educated guess. And then the rest of the players are kind of interspersed, where maybe Flame Viper's at the bottom. Haven't seen him play too much, but he's sharing space with Tudor, and then 3 Crow would be above them both, is sort of my thinking. As of right now, though, Tudor looks like he might be the first to exit. Trying to expand there, but the Matrixes will shut that down. He's going to need a couple of extra Phalanx or some such to try to break that. Another Spraith trying to be put down, but it's not going to happen, and now the Iral Iris will definitely be felled. You can see the Anseal being heckled here. Hanmano hasn't quite noticed. trying to set up his static defenses. In the meanwhile, as his tier 2 is complete, the Sentinels will come up, and that's a wrap on the Iris. Unfortunate there for Tudor, was not insulated against this kind of air attack, despite seeing the Panoptises quite early. Savants doing their damnedest. We have a couple extra bases here for Tudor, but he's not really mining on many of them, and of course he's lost tier 2, but he has his Mutath. Looks like Flame Viper tried to take another base again and ended up getting bopped. Very unfortunate. It looks like now we have a serious trouble for our Panoptis-oriented player. Kasuga going to be trying to come on down. He's got plenty of Goliaths to contend with, so as long as those Zealots get held by Han Mono's Micro, he should be in a good spot. You can see the Panoptises flying around to try to deal with the Phalanx in particular. A Sentinel is being constructed on the front lines. A little bit of a damage spread here will take out 3 out of 4 of the Phalanx. Not without some costs, and of course, the Goliaths themselves still provide a good bit of value. That's one trade you don't want to be making here in Kasuga's position. The Engram will finish up. It's just out of range of the Crucible Aura, so it won't be firing too heavily. Crank it down now, coming in onto the little peninsula. Terran coming, Jimmy. We'll see if Flame Viper can hold out or not. I'm not giving him too many odds. But it looks like now the Panoptises are loosed, and we will end up seeing the abandonment of the mainland. Mantles are coming up online here for 3 Crows tier 2, and he's going to go ahead and set up shop upside. So I think we're going to end up seeing some significant changes to the complexion of this match later on if 3 Crow masses up some tier 3 air or something. Meanwhile, the Ultra Cores are loose. I think they're a few too small in number right now, but the Matadors are rending their armor and eventually going to drive them back. Now here comes Jimmy, trying to come in. Is he friend or foe? It looks like both. As the Gorger Core is loose onto the Cyclops, that's going to be way too much for Krankadow's standing army to deal with. But will Flame Viper be able to hold out? You know, there's not that much damage in this army. It does look like the ground attacks are not going to be too significant, but the Gorger Cores and the Nather Cores combining will be too much, I think. Now we're going to have that 4th and 5th base be taken and set up by our Terran player. The Zerg air stack can just kind of float in at any point. Flame Viper has expanded to the 6 o'clock island, so he's not quite out of the game just yet. And Kasuga's taken over the upper right. There's like an oceanic country that this represents this bottom tip of, which is really funny to think about because Kasuga is sort of from around here. He's from Taiwan. So not so far away. Cataphract's on the way on the mainland. The Panoptises are going to kind of make this a little bit difficult here for 3 Crow. His base in the sort of lower portion of the battle platform in the 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock is going to be taken out pretty soon. Eventually we'll like remaster this map, so to speak, where we give it a little bit of extra oomph. Oh, they actually fly over. They kill the Mason, but they don't bother attacking it itself, which does make sense. Kasuga's pretty good at decision making. Gonna try to mass repair the Watchdog. It's actually gonna work out pretty nicely and even almost kill the Panoptis at the end of the day. Flame Viper now reduced to teching up on the island. Interesting expand. Madrigals have been teched into now for Krankendow. That's his reaction to this position. It doesn't look like he's got much going on right now. He doesn't have an extra Atlas or anything like that, so. Onvano starting to add that tier 2. Sentinel at the bottom, not quite going to get up. He needs to finish making that Watchdog, but the Mason was either pulled off or canceled. Oh, look at that. Trying to start setting up some defenses right on location. Now his Panoptises have to cycle around to see if they can bust that Sentinel. He's got more where that came from, and he is teching up to Argosy, so... Oh, no, only now is Tudor going to try to expand to those locations. Spoiler. Not necessarily going to work. Warden's now coming up. This is dirty. What can 3 Crow even do to deal with this? He's making units on the mainland still, remember? Tier 2 now complete for Flame Viper. And some more action happening over here as Jimmy continues to attack and scale up here, but not Jimmy, I should say. Jimmy would never play Zerg like this. Cranking down now, cowed back into his mainland area. Some Zethicors patrolling for Tudor, who's been able to rebuild. He actually rebuilt his Iral Iris and some anti-air defenses. On Mono is continuously scaling his economy as well. He's made both add-ons on the starports. He's making the mantles. Does look like these Sentinels are going to be mass repaired. And what are the targets here? They're still going after the Sentinel. So that's a little bit too much. Well, there's more where that came from. Oh, Tudor is escaping in this position. You can see that didn't quite end up working out over here for him in the top right, though his Avaleth is still there. Now we've got the Krankendow push coming into the bottom left, trying to contend with Jimmy, who's taking quite a few expansions. All of these Avaleths and Droleths are waiting to evacuate to the island. Greener pastures. The black on jet black violence over here is so hard to see on the minimap, but don't worry, guys. I'm a professional. Another engagement between not Jimmy and Crank. The Gorgor is coming in to try to engage. There's plenty of Madrigals here still. Might be a mistake to go this early when you've got ground troops still. In fact, a lot of those Gorgor are going to be brought very, very low. The Anseal's trying to shield heal alongside the Shamans themselves. Well, he can deploy the Madrigals now. The air stack has been dealt with. This might still be a hold for our Terran, but there's a lot of Izira cores. They don't do a lot of damage. They take a long time to break down. As reinforcements attempt to continue, there's an attack on the other side. Our Earthtone Zerg continuing to find some value as time goes on. And now look at all the static defense being set up. I think 3-Core is going to have to give up the battle platform. Looks like this base will hold, but it was a lot of dead Masons in the process. And the position down in the south was broken, so not Jimmy looking likely to actually bust Crank out of the match and force him to lift off and rebuild somewhere else. Not really a good spot to do so right now. I guess the upper left, he'd have to get through 3-Crow's army to do so. Mavericks unload from the anchor. They're trying to stim down the Wardens. Maybe the anchor could actually lift off and land over here, because right now is down to 2 Mavericks, and that's going to fall as well. How unfortunate. The Nexus has been taken over here. Tier 3 just began for not Jimmy as he starts to bowl through the bridge. He's still kind of sending a couple of units up to that top spot. Trying to break through this bridge with ground units is really not going to work out too well. Blackjacks are going to come in. Oh, they turn into Gosvaleths. That's pretty cute now that they've got the tier 2. That makes sense. So Flame Viper is going to go ahead and rebuild that. The Blackjacks are going to arrive and see nothing. There's loads of static defense happening over here with the Agroleths. And now, Sundog Goliath combo trying to make things happen over here. The Spraiths and the Spear Tits helping out versus the air, but there's not really anything to deal with all these Goliaths. So Hanmano will be forcing a little bit of, you could say, territorial disputes there. This one's been resolved up in the, I keep calling it the battle platform, but it's meant to be like an aircraft carrier. That was my justification for having something north of Australia, Oilstralia. I can't remember what this one is by comparison. Maybe it's a smaller one, or there's an actual aspect to that. Geographically, that made sense. Oh well, GG calls Tudor. And there he goes. Our first Zerg to fall, our first player to fall. A Lodestone, some static defense coming up for Krankendow as, well, we still have a lot of anchors where that came from. Scribes now being envoyed across. There goes Tudor's last Avaleth. I think the one on the top right was killed already, yeah, by a Warden. And, you know, he's got a couple of structures up here still, but... Mass Gith and a lot of Zeth. Looks like going to be another attempt at Krankendow's territory here for not Jimmy. See how long Flame Viper ends up going for. I know what he's probably planning on doing is going for the Sovroleth stack. See how much damage he can do. Oh my god, the Madrigal count. Okay, well those Skithrakors did not do much. Hanmano's Blackjacks must have been cleaned up earlier. I see some damage has been dealt to this, and yeah, they all have kills, so I guess we can surmise what might have happened there. He's trying to manually kill all of the Droleths. It's a clicking exercise. It's like Osu, you know what I mean? Now surrounded by Protoss. Scribe moving down to the upper left island as well. Is 3Crow still on just one base? He sure is, and his mining is depleted. So his dream of getting up to like tier 3 or whatever seems to be just a mirage, a phantom, a delusion. Meanwhile, Kasuga expanding to the upper island, upper left island. He's going to have all the island bases, all 5 of them. Monument Ascent and Argosy on the way. The Gorgons cycle back. 3Crow not yet willing to leave his little cordoned off connection inside his spawn. Now we got Convolisks and Kagralisks and Mutalisks out for Not Jimmy. Nice try. Tier 3 starting for Hanmano. The Gorgons do discover the triple nexus in the top left. I believe there are some air units somewhere, but I'm not quite sure where. Okay, they're scrambling now. Empyreans and Panoptises. Two Doors' entire base has not yet been cleared. You can see that Hanmano is thinking about taking the sort of upper 9 spawn here. It's not quite a... No, that isn't his spawn, but that's his natural, I see. Upper 3, I should have said, not upper 9. Now we've got a pretty good entrenched position here for Krankendow. He's going to continue to force the issue. A plague has come out. Going to start spreading things out, courtesy of those Kagralisks, spreading the plague indeed. You combine that with the Rillero Chorus, yeah, the plague and Kagralisk and Convolisk is a really dirty combo, but they are going to end up collapsing, and their corpses are consumed. I think he'll be okay in this position still, but can he push further? It's going to take a lot of sieging to make that happen. And I think he's got a couple of bigger fish to fry. Yeah, Kagralisk, Convolist, maybe. The Mutas are just here for moral support, really. They'll get some bounce damage off to the plagued units that are down to 0 HP, since Plague can't kill your target. The Panoptises and the Gorgons cycling through the Zerg base, not realizing the grand threat that they all face together. But Hanmano is pushing in with a lot of units, mind you. Goliaths, Phalanx, and Sundogs with some detection with the Antseals. All of a sudden, Not Jimmy's going to need to abandon his position. He will take out the Ministry, at least. If you can't infest it, you might as well plague it. But look at that. The utter shellacking that's occurring right now. Flame Viper entrenching at 6 o'clock with Spear Tiths while this war happens in the mainland. And the last of the advanced units up there in Krankendow's base are going to collapse. Hanmano taking such control of the map right now. And now he'll cycle back with the Sundogs to clear out the incoming Mutas. Not really any dedicated anti-air in this position. I mean, will he kill more than a single Goliath here? That's my question. The Mutas come out. The Cataphracts are going to deal with those just fine. And it does look like the rest of the army is going to go kaput. One Terran casualty that I calculated. I see a second Goliath corpse here, so a grand total of 2 of them as Krankendow tries to retake his position, but GG is called from Nemesis Jimmy. Could not handle it. And that should fill Crank with fear. And, you know, you think about the Cataphracts coming down to pressure this top spot as well for 3Crow. I think he's probably also going to be like, huh? What's happening here? The Antseals for Hanmano are going to fly directly into death, unfortunately. He is taking a lot of extra bases. He's got a lot more units where that came from as well. Does he have enough? Oh, he's trying to use the Rillero Cores, but that's not what does the trick anymore. He's going to need to kill the Zeths instead to try to spam the Sovs. I love Hanmano manually targeting a bunch of these neutral units, which is really funny to me. Well, there you have it. Iron Foundries. Exploring the end of the tech tree here is Hanmano. Trying to spend his bank. He's actually keeping his money pretty low. Now, double Didact for the Recall and the Cloak. There is a Star Sovereign involved here. Could try to glass the oil and then turn it into a pretty impactful Recall. But there are Cestises that sort of strewn about. I don't know if these Didacts are actually going to be able to get very far. And look what's over here. We've got more where that came from. Now, Krankendow's going to start pushing in onto 3Crow's army. The Panoptis is still patrolling. And look at that! Right over the detection, the Didacts go down. That's such a huge investment of Vespene. But Krankendow's Phalanx is on the other side of the map. Should be going pretty well here. You can't really contest those with just pure kata. Sovrolets are slowly multiplying for Flame Viper. I knew he would try something like that. But now Krankendow's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble, in fact. The Sundogs are in such a count, and they're split up enough for the versus the splash damage that even though he's got a respectable madrigal count, it's not looking too hot just yet. Although they are getting hooked on the phalanxes, so I guess that's something. Trying to spread through the bridge. Is he actually going to... I mean, there's so many phalanxes kind of strewn about, but I guess the Sundogs can deal with those if given the right opportunity. He's just kind of... He's fine to throw this army away, dude. Look at what he's got in the middle. This is a ridiculous amount of units. Now he cycles away with those Sundogs, trying to help out his position. He's got a lot of units that need to get through that bridge. I bet he's never tried to use... He's never had to click through the bridge so many times. This isn't StarCraft 2. Perfect. That's beautiful. Well, he'll pay attention to that later, right? He's making nanite assembly. He's experiencing the end game technology. All right, a more enhanced and deliberate push here without the recall, without the Didax. And you know, we did lose a lot of Sundogs earlier from Hanwano's perspective. He's got a respectable count, 24. But the Empyreans are splash, and the land effects are splash. So what is he going to be able to do versus this army? All of a sudden, he's going to need to recall his ground troops, which it looks like he's already doing. He did some pretty good damage, almost took out the Ministry for Crank in the natural. And that actually puts him within arm's reach of being killed by 3-Crow if you're not careful. Is Kasuga the strongest player right now? I think it really depends on how much damage he does to Hanwano's position. You can see the entrenchment happening over here. So he's going to be pressuring Krankendow in that spot. Another Monument of Sin starting up over here on the island, forcing a lift off already from that position. Now, how soon does he respond to this threat? He's making Paladins a great choice versus this air, but he's only making them out of one of his Iron Foundries, which is a little bit of a miss. Nanite assemblies are nearly done. What's his reaction to being attacked? That's my question. Needs to start scrambling the defense force. Has he even noticed that he's got all these units? Okay, now he does. A lot of Goliaths are in that army, to be fair. He just needs to be aware of the stack up, and I don't think he's going to be aware at all, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to see almost all of his Sundogs go down immediately to this splash damage. He's focusing down a couple of the Empyreans in the process, but yeah, it doesn't really... I think he got 2. Now, the Goliaths are going to be a different story. Disruption field comes down, but there's so many Goliaths, I really don't think the land effects can do that much. Yeah, they all just end up going down. And this amount of Goliaths will potentially beat back this army. The Panoptises are going to be next. We've still got 12 Empyreans, 3 Star Sovereigns. The glassing can be pretty pivotal here. Do we have any more air units coming? Magnetars, a Minotaur. The Paladins need to get active here. Pulling away the workers makes a lot of sense here. Goliath's going to continue to try their best. Ramsey's also trying to step to it. Not able to penetrate any of these units. Now, there's the glassing going down. Is he going to focus down that 1-star Sovereign? The answer is not quite, but he is still doing some damage. Oh, it's so close to being destroyed, but it's a good choice now. He's got the Salamanders for armor rend. Wow, we haven't seen those units be used in a while. They don't end up staying very long, but they actually did help out for the Goliath's sake. And I don't actually think this army is going to be able to do too much. Where's the Paladin? You can see him trying to recall his army out. The Paladin does go down. He's trying to pull through the warp portal, but his Star Sovereigns stay alive. Now trying to cycle back up to control this is Hanwano. His Magnetar on the way. It'll actually yoink the Star Sovereigns in the middle of their glassing efforts. This is a little unfortunate for Kasuga to lose these. Yeah, Yamato, baby. Yoink him. Oh, he's going to use the Yamato instead. I guess he'll let him off with a warning. Recall isn't instant in this game, so that's probably confusing to him. Crank doesn't gotta let his ministry burn down. Oh no, Crank! He has no idea. Now trying to move up with some apostles and some blackjacks, but that's not going to work out very well. Witnessing the carnage. What is our Sovrlet stack even at right now for Mr. Flame Viper, I wonder? He doesn't have so many, right? Only 22. Entrenching over there with the ridge caps. Yeah, Hanwano looking pretty good right now. I feel like he's definitely in a good spot, whereas Krankendow is mining from just 2 bases, both of them depleting. 3-Crow kind of in a similar spot. Now even his natural sort of 3rd base there is going to be heckled, as he's tried to take this base instead, but Krankendow will deny him. Yeah, so Hanwano versus Kasuga seems to be what our final bout will be, but the money here and the resources, also the tech, really favored here for Hanmano, making a lot of salamanders. The Gorgons now come in to try to wreck Krankendow's push. He doesn't have nearly as many madrigals now. He's going to lift that, and he does end up repairing the Ministry. Or he replaced it, I don't know which. But he's now going to be under duress again. Hanmano might end up punching directly into Three Crow's position. He's going to shut down this base of Kasuga's first, I believe. Krankendow on a patrol route with this blackjack. That's not going to last for very long. Oh, Kasuga might end up flying directly into him, which would be pretty bad. GG is called, as Krankendow can't fight back versus Three Crow. I don't think Hanmano realizes how many players were actually in this game. Well, he's going to start erasing the mineral line over here, courtesy of the Salamander ground attack. Its air attack also applies some armor in, but it doesn't do splash. All right, well, we have some stasis now with our army here. Kasuga can try to lock stuff down. Krankendow's... Oh, no! No, Hanmano! Oh! It deals friendly splash, Hanmano. Oh, he canceled it at least. He figured it out. Very nice. I actually really don't... Somehow, something about this... I look at this and I think, I really don't think Hanmano is going to be losing this game, even to a bunch of Sovroleths, but I guess anything is possible. He's got a pretty big army. Getting up there in terms of the army count. Now, Kasuga has a cycled through with a lot of Empyreans, and we don't have a big stack of Paladins lying around. We got some Minotaurs in reserve. Oh yeah, we actually do have a pretty good defense force here for Hanmano if he wants it. Gorgon fleet comes in. There's a lot of units here. Three Crow has no idea. The two Goliaths starting to heckle this position as well. What's the reaction? If he doesn't pull his army back here, Hanmano can knock Three Crow out. But he is going to need to do something about this push, for sure. Not immediately responding as he's trying to set up this other base instead. Wellbores coming up. My man knows about Wellbores. Love to see that. So he ends up losing base number 7, I think. And he will end up... It looks like he is going to cycle his army all the way back. Five-star Sovereigns, 10 Exemplars, and what, 19 Empyreans, I think, plus the 2 Didacs. Looking like a pretty scary army right about now. But it is just an air stack, right? Oh, and look at, speaking of just an air stack, another base gets got, but we have loads of Gorgons here going to get intercepted. More where that came from as well with the Paladins. Now, this is the stack that Kasuga needs to respect. Oh, big stasis. That's going to help. Minotaur's being pulled into the fight. You can see Hanmano desperately trying to cycle back. Speaking of Hanmano, it looks like he was the one who just got bopped. Salamander stack going off to the Star Sovereign. Is actually... Kasuga might be able to just push this to the end, but remember, there's so many units that Hanmano has made. Oh, and the Magnetars aren't going to get their Yamatos off. But the Paladin count is so enormous. This is going to be Kasuga's army destroyed. You know what, guys? We got a dirty Sov farmer over here. I don't know. There's a possibility it could do some real damage. Ah, destroyed before the glassing. He still has 12 Empyreans. Did he end up making much more? Does he have any other units, really? No, he does. He looks all right. The Empyreans will be pocketed. Mono will keep spending his army down. The Cataphracts have lumbered all the way down here to try to pressure him in another angle, which I guess will be pretty good. The add-on's going down here. Soon he'll have no more Sundogs and no more Salamanders. Kaguga. That's his new name now, Kaguga. At one time, Hanmano had a great air stack. That time is no longer the case now. It does look like the Nexus here for Kasuga is going to go down. He's going to try to cycle his army back. Oh, my Paladin. There were some Solarians made, but they are all stacked up there. The glassing, though. The glassing for Hanmano. All his Paladins just get nuked. And he has to call GG after that one. Kasuga reigning supreme. I thought he did pretty well. Who the hell knows what's going to happen now, though? That's the big question. Ah, he can't escape. He can't evacuate. The Sovrelets are coming in for the attack. I think the Cataphracts will just dismantle those if they step in the wrong direction. But then it's just, how long will Kasuga take? Ooh, how long will Kasuga take to... Yeah, erase 3 Crow, basically. That's what I wanted to know. It looks like it's about to happen. So the Catas will definitely do some damage. I don't know if this FFA practice is going to help him in the 1v1 show match, but I certainly hope it will. It'll be super good. Oh, it's 3 Crow. Well, I don't think he was hashing it himself, you know? That glassing is going to complete as well. That'll be 3 Crow. Erased from the game. The Sovrelets are trying to find things to attack. The Cataphracts have missed them. The Mason's trying to evacuate to Cockroach. Can 3 Crow even... oh, he started a Ministry, so yeah, he's going to be safe. I was going to say, so you have to have a production facility finished in order to be capable of staying in the game, but... Speaking of, I guess, no, these nanite assemblies... Oh, look at these, some Paladins are actually going to stay alive here, and they will do some good damage before they end up getting destroyed. Oh no, the Sovrelets! Finally, it will be destroyed. Well, with that, there goes Han Mono off the scoreboard. We get to see Kasuga's antics. Flame Viper is still down here in the bottom. He's got some Alcagalisks. He has made tier 3 off of the 1 base. I love the 1 Sovrolith. And in response, Kasuga makes a couple Wardens, you know? 1 Sovrolith, 1 Gosvolith. This could still make something. The Star Sovereign cat is out of this world. I can't believe it. He's got 15 Star Sovereigns and 18 Solarians. Kind of wild. Oh! I didn't even see these. Ah, I kissed her course. Oh, they didn't last very long. Nice. Now this is gameplay. Good job, Kasuga. Well, he expanded to the islands and he won. Is it any surprise? Thanks for joining us for this very deranged FFA. Big fan of FFAs. Glad that we made it through this one. There were some scary pop-ups, but actually nothing really happened out of them. Han Mono was eliminated in both realities. And I guess so was 3Crow. His only thought of the DSIC was just because he thought he was supposed to see a defeat message, but that only happens on another map. I haven't configured Oilstralia to do it. So that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. GG.